going to talk about here is after a shoulder replacement or reverse replacement, potentially rotator cuff repair as well. Those can be a little tricky though sometimes depending on the injury, but there's a lot of variables with all these surgeries. So I'm just going to go to a traditional wand or stick assisted flexion activity, working just a basic range of motion for flexion. And so I've got palms down because oftentimes the biceps is involved. And so you want to be very careful if you want to know that information. Biceps is not just this kind of motion. There's also the long head, which is involved with the shoulder, attaches up there, oftentimes injured with the rotator cuff. So if we're doing like this, that's going to overwork or stress if it's still intact or attached, or if it's been repaired, especially we want to not overload that. So palms down means we're going to use more deltoid in the front, the big meaty part of the shoulder. I oftentimes refer to the deltoids as the glutes of the shoulder, big meaty part of the shoulder there. So you want to use those muscles. You don't want to stress and strain, and you absolutely want to stabilize through your shoulder blades and your core against the table here. So I'm going to lie down on my back, and I'm going to have ideally my legs up, although you can go flat like this. That allows you to come a little farther, but you may not be able to do it very well, especially considering the amount of leverage when your arms are straight. The other reason for the straight arms, even though it's a little harder in some ways, is that if you're doing a lot of like a push-up like this, you're going to use your pectorals, and your pectorals attach over here as well, and they can pull in that similar area here. Sometimes surgeons do things to spare tendons. I just had a patient where they're talking about like they reattach, it's like the subscap tendon over here. So, you know, there's different things that could be rearranged or could be fragile. So you want to be very aware. And the pecs pull a lot, and they pull in this direction here, which can cause scrunching. So we generally want to take those pectorals a little bit out of the equation, and we want to work through here. Now, if you find that this is too challenging here, what you can do is you can actually use your legs and kind of scoot that up. Now, if you have pillows or something, I don't have another one here, but I could prop that up and start more here. And just be very aware, even if you can go this far, that once you go past 90, you have to control that eccentrically. Now you're on the muscles on the underside here when you're overhead. And you want to, again, make sure you're anchoring those shoulder blades and controlling from your body, your core, as you pull down here, shoulder blades down there, and not forcing too much through the actual shoulder, coming forward back. So that might even be too fast, especially when you start. You want to try to get yourself in middle, coming down, coming up, controlling all the way through. If you're able to, if you want, you can adjust your thumbs one side or the other. That can make a difference too. But you want to use your good arm to help your affected side through that. Okay, good.